Our second inventor is Rebecca E. Hooper, and she conceived three inventions. The first was guide shield for typewriting machines, the second was sanitary drinking appliance, and the third was sanitary drinking cup and dispenser. However, she is a person whose life details are essentially non-existent, though I will relate what could be found after considerable diligent searching. Rebecca was born on January 17, 1858, probably in the United States, yet there seems to be some confusion regarding her birth date. Nevertheless, by the 1870 census, the family was living in Diamond Springs, El Dorado County, California. Diamond Springs is east of Sacramento and about 128 miles northeast of San Francisco. Rebecca's dad was born in 1823 and died in 1894. His full name was Henry Otis Hooper, and he is listed as being from California. Rebecca's mom was born in 1833 and died in 1896. Her maiden name was Elizabeth Cochran, and she was from Ireland. The dates for Rebecca's parents are listed on Rebecca's gravestone, so these are assumed to be correct. I used the gravestone to establish Rebecca's dates as well. In 1890, Rebecca was living in San Francisco and working at the Fulton Iron Works. She listed her occupation as a stenographer, and her residence was at 1132 Pine Street. Of course, this was before the 1906 earthquake, and a lot has changed about the city since then. Nevertheless, as you can see, an apartment building still exists at that location. The Fulton Iron Works was located at Fremont, Howard, and Beale Streets in San Francisco, and was quite a large manufacturing of mining mills as well as other items. The company actually operated under the name Hinckley, Spears, and Hayes, and this explains another reference to San Francisco City Directory that showed Rebecca's employment at that company as a stenographer. The Fulton Iron Works actually began in 1855 at a different location in San Francisco, though the properties for this business have vastly changed since then. By the 1900 census, Rebecca was still living in San Francisco and was apparently divorced from her husband, Dr. Harry Hooper, who remained a member of the household. It is assumed that Harry was a distant cousin, but the exact relationship could not be determined. Rebecca is probably closer to 42 at the 1900 census, thus making her 15 years older than the former spouse. It is, of course, quite unusual to have the divorced spouses remain in the same home, but such can happen for economic reasons. By 1910, Rebecca had moved to Half Moon Bay, about 30 miles south of San Francisco, and this was gleaned from material in her second patent. In her third patent, in 1914, filed in 1913, she continued to live at Half Moon Bay. However, in 1937, she was back in San Francisco at 521 Sutter. As previously mentioned, Rebecca had three patents, and the first is US 493503, guide shield for typewriting machines. The drawing for this patent is shown in the figure. This invention provided some metal clips to hold a letter against the typewriter, platen, or roll, so the letters would not be blurred when imprinted. The patent application was filed June 9, 1892, and the patent issued March 14, 1893. Rebecca was 35. Rebecca's second patent was US 978295, sanitary drinking appliance, issued December 13, 1910, and its drawing is shown in the figure. In this invention, Rebecca created the quintessential conical drinking cup made from paper, though it is unknown if this was used or if any monetary proceeds were received. Nevertheless, in her third invention, she produced a rectangular-shaped tube for holding dispensing the cups and provided a weight on top to help them feed. The drawing from US 1111962 is shown in the figure, and she received her patent September 29, 1914. In this last invention, Rebecca also improved the chute through which the cups moved. Again, it is unknown if this was ever made or she made any money. Yet both of these drinking cup ideas look like what pretty much became standard. Rebecca E. Hooper died on August 24, 1963 in San Mateo, about 13 miles northeast of Half Moon Bay. She is buried at Woodlawn Memorial Park in Colma, about 12 miles south of San Francisco. Colma was established in 1924 as the necropolis for San Francisco, since land was too valuable for burials in the city. Woodlawn Memorial Park is just one of about 16 cemeteries in the tiny municipality. Hence, this has been the short story of Rebecca E. Hooper's life. I wish that more information had been available, but she was apparently one who led a quiet life. She died childless, though it can indeed be said that her patents were her children. Yet it is unlikely that her patents were widely known.